Hi, I'm Darren with Strumpatterns.com, and we're going to be now looking at how to hold the guitar and a good body position for you while you're holding the guitar. And this is one of those things that many guitarists have never considered. They may have played for years and years, and you might be one of those who have never really thought about what's the best way to hold the guitar. And that, in the end, will translate to either bad, you can injure yourself, or a bad sound, or just it'll be uncomfortable and you can have strains in your muscles or in your back. So things like that you want to avoid. Not to mention, if you have a comfortable body, that will translate into having a good, comfortable, professional sound. Okay, so that's the design of this video, and a few more videos I'm going to make in the future are some of the fundamentals that perhaps some people have never really taken the time to look at, or maybe you've never been taught. And if you're just beginning the guitar and starting off this way, great, because I played for years without doing this, and it took me a long time to get in this habit. And there are some bad habits I'm still fighting because I played them for so long. So if you're starting off like this, great, you'll get there quicker. All right, so first thing we're going to do is you'll see my leg is slightly propped up here. So it's not completely against the floor like this. So you can do that with a footstand like I have, and I'll include a link below the video where you could purchase one of those. Or you could just use a stack of books. Telephone books work great. Or some chairs will have a cross beam, and if it's comfortable to have your foot on that, you can do that. Basically what I want is my thigh to be close to parallel to the ground, but maybe just slightly higher. If you're completely flat against the ground, what will happen is over time it's really easy for your guitar to kind of slide down towards the floor like that. So having it up a little bit is going to be more comfortable. And that being said, I'm on the right hand. I'm right-handed. My guitar is right-handed, so it's on my right leg. And also this, if you're left-handed, it's going to be in a different position. Usually you're going to play on your left leg, so it'll be the mirror of that. However, there are also classical guitar players, and their position is slightly different. It's not going to fit in the screen as well here, but they'll position, it'll be the exact same ideas that I'm going to show you here, but they position it to where the guitar is on the left leg. Okay? So I'm going to show you, the position I'm going to show you is going to basically borrow many of these ideas from the classical position, and when I'm playing classical guitar, I actually use that position. So try it out if you want and find which one's more comfortable to you. But since most people watching these videos will be playing in popular styles, pop, rock, metal, whatever, that this is the way you'll mostly see people playing, so that's why I'm going to teach it in this way. All right, so we've got our leg elevated, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this bottom part of the guitar, the curve right here, and we're going to put that on our thigh. And you know, it could be all the way out against your knee, all the way back to your hip, and where I am on my thigh is just maybe a couple inches away from the crease of my hip here, okay? And the reason for that is I can, instead of having the guitar straight up and down like this, I can have about a 5-10 degree tilt like this, to where the body, this back portion of my body here, is now coming in contact with my chest like this, as opposed to being straight up and down like that. Okay, so we have 2 points of contact so far, one being the bottom part of the guitar like this, and then my chest is coming on contact with the back side of here. Okay. All right, and one thing you'll notice is also there are different positions that you can move the guitar on your thigh this way too. And the way I have mine positioned is I have most of the body hanging off this side of my leg. Okay, and that way, if I have it down here, the head's going to naturally drop. If I have it right in the middle like this, it's still going to drop on me. So I want to use the weight of this part of the guitar to hold the body in position. Here I am almost holding in position without any hands on the guitar whatsoever. Okay, if you're trying that, be careful. You don't want to drop your guitar. But again, I'm letting gravity do most of the work. I'm trying to find a balancing position on my guitar. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is I want my guitar to be slightly out at an angle from me like this. So it's not straight against me like this, but out against me like this. to where the guitar is about 35, 45 degrees out like that, and you can experiment with how that fits with you. All right. So then the position of the right hand, what we want is if I were to make a karate chop across the face of the guitar like this, I'm about an inch or so away from the strings here, and I'm moving from my elbow here, just moving up and down like that, trying to not move out away from the guitar or out like that, but straight up and down parallel to the strings as much as I can. When I do this, I want my hand to basically be moving over the center of the sound hole like this, okay? What I don't want is I don't want to be up here, and I don't want it to be back here. We will use those different parts of the guitar to create different sounds. If you'll notice, back here isn't real clear, it's more brittle. There it's a much rounder sound. And here's an even warmer sound. So this is kind of like, you know, the, Goldilocks. This is the just right kind of sweet position to be. That's our default position, but we'll adjust that as we want different sounds, but our basic position is going to keep that in mind. Okay, so if we have the guitar here, back, slight tilt, the guitar slightly this way, the head up from the middle position and out. And now what's going to happen is my bicep right here is going to come in contact with the guitar somewhere along this. Everybody's guitar is going to be slightly different, so exactly where you come in contact with this is going to be different depending on your body shape and size, and the size and shape of your guitar as well. So different guitars will be in a slightly different position. Okay, and now I have 3 points of contact: the bottom side of the guitar, the chest against the top side of the back, and then right along this point right here, I have just the very, very, very gentle touch with my bicep. And if you see, I can move all over the place and try not to hit my mic here, but my guitar is basically staying steady, and I'm not worried about it falling off on me. It's really secure, and I can be relaxed here, okay? So 2 things we want to keep in mind is the tension in our shoulders and the relationship of our shoulders to our elbows. As much as is possible, we want our elbows and our shoulders to create a form line, and you just want them to drop straight down to your sides like this. A lot of players play, and they're playing in positions that are basically like this or like this. So you want to be in a real relaxed position like this. And notice you want your chest up and in a comfortable position. You don't want to be like way out here or hunched over like this when you play. Because again, if you're playing like that, you're not going to be able to stay in that position comfortably for very long. Okay, so if you notice here, when my left hand comes to the guitar, my elbows and my shoulders in a very comfortable and relaxed position. As soon as I notice I'm keeping still here, just pivoting the guitar back, and notice what happens in my shoulder. Now there's tension here, there's pressure here in this shoulder. So that's a big reason why we don't want to be back here like this, okay? So this allows us to have a lot of access to the fretboard, and it keeps our shoulder to elbow very straight and relaxed, okay? Another reason why we want to be in this position is we want our wrist to be as straight as possible on our fretting hand. On a right-handed person, that's going to be your left hand. Left-handy, obviously, you're going to be with the right hand. Okay, we want from our fingertips to our elbows to be a straight line as possible. We want to avoid this kind of a gooseneck as much as possible. If you do this for extended periods of time, particularly with lots of pressure, you can develop tendonitis or carpal tunnel or other injuries that are related to a carpal tunnel, but not necessarily that specific injury. So to avoid that, we want to keep the guitar head up. As soon as I drop down here like this, I have a tendency to do more of this kind of gooseneck with my neck. As soon as I bring it up, I can naturally hold the guitar in a more comfortable position. Okay, so like I said, your body position Everybody's body is a little different, so you'll find some variety. You might have to adjust depending on your size and shape, but that's the basic position what you want. So if you have to adjust it, and electric guitars are going to be a little thinner, so you're going to have to pull it in a little bit. But one of the things with the electric guitar, if you're seated with it, its position like this can change, and that will help. And the angle like this, if you play along with that, again, you want your shoulders to be very relaxed. It's really easy particularly with an electric guitar, to really have to try to pin it. So try to find that place where it naturally kind of balances. The weight is distributed to where it balances itself almost, and your arm is just there to hold it up. Okay. Also, I'm in this position. I can't show it to you, but when I have a strap on, I hold it against my hip like this, as opposed to a lot of people will have it like this and maybe up like this. I have it down against my hip or just slightly above my hip. That way I can have that same position here and move like this, okay? So whether you have a strap on or whether you're seated or you have an electric guitar or your body shape's a little bit different, the positions are all going to be pretty similar, but the main things to keep in mind are the position of your shoulders, how much tension they are, and your line with your elbow, and minimizing the amount of force you have to use on the guitar to hold it in position. So those are the basic ideas of how to hold your guitar. And that's it for this video, but it's the first in a series, so be sure to click here to catch the next video in the series. Also, click here if you'd like to catch a video from another series. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click here so that you don't miss out on future videos. Leave any questions or comments you have down below. Also, you could follow me on Facebook, Google+, or Twitter by clicking here. And if you'd like to support me and keep these videos coming, you can click here to make a donation. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.